Hello again everybody and welcome back to World is Magic. My name is Will and I hope you are all having a magical day today. Now for today's video I'm doing a quick and easy self-working card trick that I'm pretty sure I've done before, but I can't seem to find it on my channel, so I'm figured that I might as well do another performance and tutorial of it so that I know that you guys have seen it and know how good this self-worker is. Now, on another note, I am looking for a new camera to film these videos on. So if you have any tips or any guidance on what to look for, what to buy in videography, please let me know in the comments down as well, because I am a complete beginner in this area. I have no clue whatsoever what I'm supposed to look for. So any tips are very much appreciated. Now, if you do like this video, as always, hit that like button, comment on what you guys want to see next. And as always, if you're new to the channel or if it's the first time you're seeing me, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. But without further ado, let's get into the performance of this trick. So for this trick, guys, all I need is a deck of cards. I'm using the green monarchs for this trick, which I know you've seen before on my channel. Now we're gonna go ahead and give the deck a quick couple of riffle shuffles, and then I'd like you to name out any four of a kind. So it's a totally free choice. Let's say you said the tens maybe. So we're gonna go ahead and pick the 10. We can pick, let's see here, they are hiding somewhere, I know it. The other 10, the third 10, and the fourth 10. Now, whilst we got those 10s, I'm gonna make a couple of piles just on the side of it. So let's pick maybe that many, and then let's pick, we can do like that. So we're gonna have 4 piles, and the reason why we're having 4 piles is because we have 4 10s, but we're gonna get these 10s lost in the deck. Now, before we do that, I'd like you to cover your hand on these 10s. And I would like you to get a connection to them, so when we lose them in the deck, you can easily find them, all right? So let's take a second, give them a connection. All right, you're feeling it? Good. You're gonna take the first 10, and you're gonna put it on this deck right over here. Now, I'd like you to pick out any amount of cards from the second deck, and you can put that on top of that 10. Now we're going to do the same thing with the second 10. So it goes on top of that pile, pick out any amount of cards you like, put them on top. And the third 10 goes on top. We're going to take the rest of the cards, put that on top, and then just gather up this whole deck. Now for this trick to work, you actually need to hold on to one 10, because that 10 has the connection from you to all the other 10. So we can't lose this one, you gotta have to keep that to yourself. But that is a great thing, because now when I'm dealing out the cards, I like you to always think of those 10s, all right? So I'm gonna start dealing down the cards with the 2 piles. And then I like you to keep that connection to the 10s at all times, because if you lose connection just a slight second, this might not work. So this all hangs up to you, all right? So you gotta keep that connection going. All right, so we got 2 piles right here. Now, for the second part, I'd like you to deal these cards down. So I would like you to grab the pile, and I would like you to put the first card on top of the deck and the second card on the table. And then just keep doing that. And whilst you're doing it, you gotta keep thinking about those 4 of a kind. So think about all those 10s that you gathered before. All right, great job. Now, I feel like you can do this one more time. So you're gonna grab the deck again, and you can deal the cards once again. So keep thinking about those 10s. As you see, this pile is getting a lot smaller now. Now, one last time, I'd like you to pick up this pile and put the cards as you did before. Now, that should leave us with 3 cards over here, right? Now, remember that you got to pick any 4 of a kind out of a shuffle deck. We then put them back in the deck, and you got to pick up exactly how many cards you like to put on top of every single 10. And then we dealt the card downs every other way. Now, you hopefully kept a strong connection to your 10s at all times. Because if you did, the 3 cards that we're left with should all be the 10s. Now that was the trick, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Now let's get into the tutorial of this trick. So guys, for this trick, all you need is a deck of cards. You need to have 52 cards, I believe. I've not tried to do it with anything less, anything more, but I would suggest do it with 52 cards. It just makes sense. Now, to do this trick, it is a self-working card trick. As I said, the only thing you got to do is keep track of the piles and how you're dealing with the cards. But other than that, it's completely self-working. I'm not checking the math on this one, guys. It's too complicated for me. So just bear with me and do as I said, and it'll all work out fine in the end. So you're going to take the cards and you're going to give them a quick little shuffle. You can have the spectator do the whole trick pretty much. So it's a great way of kind of you stepping away from the cards, if that makes any sense, so that they're doing the magic and you're kind of not controlling it in any way. So they're going to pick out any four of a kind. Now this really doesn't matter. I'm just going to take the best first. So we're going to have the sevens. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 sevens. Now the first thing you got to do, and I like to do this when I'm doing this trick, I like to do these two steps simultaneously, because otherwise it gets a bit fishy. As you see in the performance, it takes a bit of time to execute one of the moves here, but you want to do these two simultaneously, but I'm going to talk to them as you're doing them individually. So you're going to tell the spectator to put their hands on the sevens or any four of a kind, and you want to have them charge them up or anything like that to get a connection to them. Now you're going to take that. This is going to give it some time, so keep your hand there really focusing on those sevens. While they do that, you're going to split the deck into 4 piles. Now, there's a certain amount of cards you got to pick in each pile, or the piles that you're going to place the 7 in. So the first pile is going to be 14 cards in. Now, the way I like to do it is I push off in chunks of 3. So I'll do 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. Set them down. Second pile is going to be 15. So 3, 6, 9, 8, 12, 15. The third pile is also going to be 15, but the fourth pile is only going to have 4 cards. So at this point, I like to go to the end or the start, doesn't matter, and pick out 4 cards, place them down, and the rest of the deck or pile, place them down. So you should be set with 14, 15, 15, and 4. Pretty easy to remember. 2 in the middle are 15, 14, or 14 and 4. Not too hard to remember, but you want to do this as they're focusing on their cards, because otherwise doing the whole kind of push off looks kind of, okay, I'm counting 3, I'm counting 6, 9, 12, 15. It doesn't look too good. So you want to do it as fluently as possible while they're charging up the cards. Now from this point, it is completely self-working. So you're going to ask them to take the first 7 and place it on top of the pile that's got 14 cards in it. Now, if you would like to go even further, you could say, all right, I want you to pick out your favorite suit out of the 7s. So let's say they say the hearts. All right, you're going to keep the hearts. We're going to get rid of the rest of the 7s. So then they pick the first 7, put it on top, and then they can pick out any amount of cards from the second pile that's got 15 in it, put on top of that 7. It really doesn't matter. It's a free choice. They take the second 7, put that on top of the pile they just picked up cards from. They go to the third pile, pick up any amount of cards, set them down, take the third 7, put that on top of the cards they just picked out the cards from. Then take the 4 cards that are left in pile 4, put them on top of pile 3, put that on top of pile 2, and put that on top of pile 1. So it goes in a pile 1, pile 2, pile 3 kind of pattern, but pile 4 on top of 3, 3 on top of 2, 2 on top of 1, and then that's your deck gather up. Now, this part of the trick is where you can have your spectator pretty much do everything or the rest. But if you're not willing to give out your deck, I like to try to explain and emphasize more that they got to keep a connection to their 7 or whatever kind of 4 of the kind they had. But keep a connection to the card they chose to keep and not get rid in the deck. So you're going to deal the cards down into 2 piles. Whichever card you deal down first and whichever card is dealt down last should be in the same pile. And that's the pile that you're going to keep, in a sense of you're not getting rid of those piles. So if we deal down the first card, this left pile for me is the pile that I'm going to keep. If the spectator does the same, you just got to keep track of which pile they're dealing down to. So you go through the whole deck. And I like to say about halfway that, all right, so this is going to take some time, but if you lose focus on your chosen card for a single second, this trick might not work. So you got to try to keep that focus at all times. So you go through the deck like that. The last card is going to be dealt down to this pile, which means that this pile is the pile that we're going to keep going with. So basically this pile is scrap. We could get rid of this pile right now if we like to, but I like to keep them in so that we can take this pile again. And then now we're going to switch things up. So the pile that, if we're keeping this pile, this is our trash pile. So we can call it the trash pile. The first card you're dealing down is going to be to the trash pile. The second card on the table, and then you keep doing it just like this. And then once again, emphasize, you know, you got to keep your connection to your card. Dealing them down, last card goes into your regular or the pile you want to work with right now. So you're going to do this 4 times, and after 4 times, you're only going to have 3 cards in this pile left. So we've done that twice now, so we're going to do it one more time. So the first card goes in the trash pile, second on the table. Keep doing it. So now you're going to see that we're going to have 6 cards on the table. And then finally, we do it one more time. So first card goes in the trash pile, second on the table. And just like that, all 7s will every single time be in your little pile. So as I said, guys, super simple self-working card trick. The only thing you gotta worry about is the timing where they charge up the cards that they selected and you dealing out the piles. Now, the faster you can deal out the piles and the most natural way you can do it is going to be the best way to perform this trick. No doubt about it. Now, it does take some practice, you know, just chunking up 3 cards at a time. But once you get the fluency for it, it's pretty easy to do. And if you're really good at it, you can really make it like fluently 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, you know. So give that a bit of a practice. I'm sure we'll get it in no time whatsoever. Otherwise, this trick is a lot about magical performance and acting. So make sure that you find a good story about how these 4 of a kind is going to have a connection to himself and connecting to the spectator. Now, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. If you did like it, please show it by hitting the like button down below. Comment on what you guys want to see next. And as always, if it's the first time you're seeing me or if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. I wish you all a magical day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.